Teach your children to learn to respect their teachers. Teach your children that never would they come home and report a teacher for you to go and fight for them. Yes, I am not ruling out the fact that we do not have terrible teachers. We have terrible teachers. We do have terrible teachers, but we also have very good teachers. Appreciate the ones that are good, and those ones that are demons, talk about them. But don't make it look to your children as if those teachers are worthless. When your child have reported something, just tell the child, okay, I've heard you. I will go and find out why it is like that. In that good tone, even though you are angry. Hi, welcome back. I am Nkegord. If you're seeing me for the first time, God bless you. Please don't make it your last. Make sure you subscribe to this family. And if you're old here, God bless you. You know, I love you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Now, before I go on in this video, I want to beg and crave for your indulgence that you don't skip any parts, because I have important informations that you need to take. At the end of these videos, I want you to take 5 things out of it. And you can't know those 5 things unless you watch up until the end. Are we good? So we are good. Okay. So today I'm going to share with you my experience as a first-time teacher. From the picture you saw on my thumbnail, you can tell that I am a teacher. Yes. So from the very first time I was employed, I never knew I was going to be a teacher. But at the end of the day, I appreciated the fact that I have impacted into lives. And I so much appreciate the noble profession, being a teacher. But not without so much things that had come with it. The very first time I was employed, I was told that there was no space in the secondary section. And I have to start from the primary section, which was totally new to me. One of the things I battled with was coming down to the level of these children, because they are not adults. So I learned to have to come down to their level so that they can understand the subject I am teaching them, while also imbibing culture and moral values into them without offending anybody. When I mean offending anybody, as a teacher, there is a way you will treat your students or pupils, and they will throw their interest. When I say without offending anyone, what I actually mean is that as a teacher, there is a way you will treat your pupils or students, and they will throw their interest away, and everything you will be doing will be an effort in futility. So I tried as much as possible to do that, and with God's help, I scaled through. Coming down, I started from basic 5, or what they call primary 5. So that's the highest class in the primary section. So I battled with a lot of things, which I'm going to be sharing with you. So kudos to every teacher, whether you are in the nursery section, the primary section, the secondary section, or even the tertiary institution, because it is a great work that goes in. You know, it's not easy for an individual to handle a class of 20 to 50 students that are from different parents, different upbringing, different background. That is what teaching job exposes you to. And teaching job is also that job you have to learn in the job. You know, there is something they call I learn on the job, right? So you use your initiative and your God-given sense to maneuver and find solution to how to go about your day-to-day activity with your pupils and students. I tell you, on my own, my heart was just open. So I entered with this so much enthusiasm, and a lot of things were just, hitting up themselves, because I have to battle with teaching the pupils, who I have to come down to their level so that they will get to understand me. I have to deal with noise. You have to sit in the class with them and you listen to everything, every single thing. So many complaints, auntie this, auntie that, this person pinch me, this person pick my, all of that. I'm in a class of over 20. You understand? And you have to attend. They expect you. These children are so sensitive that if they discover that you concentrate on a particular set of people, they begin to get offended. That's what I mean by that word, getting offended. They feel that you are segregating. Okay, maybe it's because this person came from a wealthy home. That's why my teacher is paying so much attention to them. So all of that were the things I needed to maneuver all by myself. I couldn't ask nobody because I get to understand that this thing, you are just by yourself. Yes, sometimes as teachers, we get to discuss one or two, but at the end of the day, you get to understand that everybody goes according to their pace and according to their ability. So I had this anger issue. I don't know whether to call it anger issue. You know, there is a point you will stay and you are thinking about how to write a lesson note, how to mark the test, how to mark the assignment, how to attend to the register, how to put everything together. And here you are, children are making noise, some people are fighting, you have spoken to them severally, you have sang, you have tried to advise them, and another person is just, from the blues are doing nonsense. I had that issue of flogging children without calming down on my anger. But on the job, I have to learn that if I must impact morally into the life of these children, I try as much as possible to calm down before I will flog or mete out a particular punishment for such a child or group of children. So my first time being a teacher, all of those things were the things I get to battle with. So how did I maneuver? At a point, I get to understand that, okay, if I have to flog a child, because flogging at that time was permitted, yes, unlike now. So what I do is, if a child have offended, I ask the child to kneel down. And I graduated to what that child likes most is being deprived of him or her. So at a point, I was moved to the secondary section, and I feel a little much more relieved because these people are well mature than the primary section. In secondary school, you have from age 11, 12, 13 and above. So it's easy for them to understand you. But in my time in the primary section, I switch. I taught the secondary and also teaches the primary. So what I do was to move from one class to another. So I moved from that situation of flogging a child to making them do something while the anger comes down, to advising, talking to the child, being intentional. And that helped my relationship with these students a whole lot. That made my children not to be so much afraid of me. And when they have issues, they trust they can come to me and talk to me about it. And I grew. That was how I grew. Now, enough of me. Let me put it back to the teachers out there. A lot of times when I get to hear that a teacher have to flog a child, have to punish a child, have to do something terrible to a child, to the point that the child sustains a lot of injury that have to do with blood gushing out, or even the child losing their life, it breaks my heart. Then again, I sit down and I understand that this has to do with the kind of family such a teacher is coming from, the kind of upbringing of the teacher, the inability of the teacher to be able to learn on the job and to know how to maneuver all of this. And that is the reason I had to tell my story before coming this way. So if you are a teacher, a classroom teacher, it is not something that is easy. It is not an easy job. Like I said earlier on, you are dealing with children that come from different family background, different values are being impacted into them from home, different lifestyles. Yes, for the better part of it, the children tend to spend more time in the school than they spend at home. But then their family actually have a lot of hold on them. So if you're a teacher and you are having difficulty on how to relate with your children while teaching, you need to work on yourself. From the story I have told you, I shared my own story to let you know that almost every teacher goes through such struggles. But what matters and what is important is how you maneuver and get out of it and be a better person. I am proud that I was able to overcome all of those, even though I still have some of my lapses that makes me a human, but it can't be compared to the first time I became a teacher. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So like the older we get, the better we ought to get in every profession, including the profession of what? Teaching. Now that will take me to the parents. As a parent, you also have a quota to contribute to making the life of your child or children better in relating with their teachers. There are some parents that are poor in imbibing good culture, good value, good lifestyle in their children. And these children comes to the school and exhibit such kind of ill character that will make a teacher just lose it because of the information the child have gotten from home. Now, I had one student while I was in primary session teaching then that he doesn't know nothing. He is not willing to listen. I get to understand that he is the only son of that in that family and the last born of that woman. I think the woman has about 7 children. So the 6 were girls and he was the only child that is a boy. So the mother pampers him so much that he doesn't listen. So I have tried, every teacher came to tell me that this child has been an issue right from time. You don't touch him. I say, who is he that I can't touch? I am here to teach. I don't have any segregation. But after trying hard with this child, I understand that he is bent on frustrating himself, not me. And at the end of the day, something happened. And I was reported to the principal. And I was threatened that I will lose my job. And you know what I said to the principal? If it is because of this child that I'm going to lose my job, so be it. Because I know that I'm innocent. What I did to him is to help him learn. But since he's not willing to learn, he should at least allow others to learn. The mother was invited to the school. And I told the woman, I said, this was what your son said, that you're going to back him up, that I don't know who you are. And that is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. And the woman was shocked. And I told the woman, I said, no problem. If I'm losing my job because of your son, so be it. Do you know that this woman personally came and met me and said, no, that is not like that. That he has spoken to the principal. And we became friends. And every other staff were surprised. How did I do it? We became friends and that child changed and began to learn. And the woman will always thank me. He said, do you know, I don't know what, because she came with, me too, I'm a teacher. I taught for some number of years before I stopped. I said, you taught and you are a teacher and your child is behaving like this, madam. Did you left the job because of another person's child? She couldn't answer. I said, I have said my own. But she came back to plead with me and even said, if I want, she can kneel down. I said, no. And everything changed. So if you're the type that your child will tell you a little thing and you march straight to the school, most especially women, oh, Jesus, have mercy on us. You walk up to the school to make a whole lot of noise. Do you know what you are doing to that child? You are destroying that child's relationship, not just with that subject or class teacher, but every other teacher. What will happen? Every teacher will begin to avoid your child, even when he or she is falling into pit, even when he or she is not understanding. Nobody pays attention to them because they are afraid. I don't want their mother to come and embarrass me. Some of you even go as far as going to the school owners to threaten them. If you don't relieve this teacher of her duty, I'm going to withdraw all of my words. And in the government school, when they come, my principal will tell them, madam, if you don't want your child to be disciplined, please take them home. And so in the government school, they know their boundaries. But you see, in the private schools, they help them a lot. So stop backing your children and telling them evil things about their teachers, because that your child will remain an academic non-entity. The child will not do well academically. And in relating with other children, it will also be an issue. So what do I want you to take home from this video? Number 1, appreciate good teachers. Because it's not easy for any teacher to handle children that have come from different backgrounds. I don't know how many times I have mentioned it. If your own child, some of you have 2 children, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is difficult for them to stay under your roof without you going nuts and gaga. Those are the children that came from your womb. You can't stand them. What more about a teacher? Sometimes they are single, not married, male or female. Praise them for being able to harness and immerse energy, strength, and wisdom to carry on with all of these children. I think one of the things you should do is to go to any school and say, let me be a student or a pupil for a day, so that you will see what it takes to be a teacher. Mothers, fathers, appreciate good teachers. Buy them gifts. Call them once in a while. Go and tell them thank you. That way, that teacher will concentrate very much on your child or children, and also spread the same good news to other teachers. And that will help your child to relax very well, because the learning environment is very conducive. Number 2, know that teachers also have their own personal struggles too. Yes, teachers are not God. We are humans just like you. We have our personal struggles. You don't know what that person is passing through, but the person just have to sit on it and come to the class and wear a good smiling face, and try to adjust him or herself emotionally and psychologically just to impact knowledge. So before you condemn a teacher, that teacher is very stupid. She's so stupid. Hey, the only thing she knows is how to make up. Hey, she can gossip, she can flog, she can insult. You don't know what that person have gone through. So from the perspective of your children, when they tell you some certain things, that's why I said earlier on, it is the bedrock you have given your children at home that will make them to either maltreat a teacher or respect a teacher. I have another example. I have too many examples, but I'm picking them one after the other. One of the child in my class, when that spoiled child issue came up, I was surprised because every other child in my class were reacting. Why he would do like that? You know, children, they begin to open up and say, Auntie, don't mind him. That's how he is. So it's because his mother is always with him. The mother will say, I will come and deal with the teacher. And one of them say, my mother must not hear me say, I come back home and say, my teacher punished me. He said, my mother will slap me. When my father comes back, she will report to him. They will give me another punishment. And I asked the child, because I was shocked. That was my first time. I asked the child, why? In primary 5 then. He said, my parents said, you should learn to appreciate your teacher. Your teacher won't hit you, will not punish you for no just cause. Your teacher is there to teach you good things. So why are you coming home to report your teacher? So that what will happen? We will go and kill your teacher. Any other time you do that. I said, so because of that, that is the reason you behave. He said, yes, so my parents will not take it. You can imagine a child in primary 5. So what imbibe in your children will either make them to respect their teacher, which will give them a good learning environment, or disrespect them, which will make their learning very difficult. Number 3, learn to pray for teachers too as part of your lifestyle. How many of you pray for teachers in general? 1, not to talk more of specifically praying for your child's teacher, specifically praying for your children's teacher. A lot of parents, they come and appreciate. There is this school I worked with one time, and what that particular family does is each time their child changes class or moves to the next class, they come to find out who the class teacher is and their subject teachers. I say, I just come to know how my child is doing. God bless you, ma. God bless you, sir. That's how I do. They pick your number, call you once in a while. Pray for these teachers. Pray for them. Pray for them so that they will not do what they are not supposed to do because of not just your child but other people's children. It is not easy, I want to say it again, to handle 20 children from different backgrounds. I handled children in the secondary session, is about 50 to 50 something of them. So imagine JSS1, JSS2, JSS3 having just one A, B, C, D, just two A, B, C, D. Do you understand? 50-50 in each class. One person. Please pray for your teachers. Know them by name and pray for them specifically. It goes a long way to help you and help your child. Number 4, make sure you have a good relationship with your children's teacher for the sake of your children. Have good relationship. Don't be that one that when the teacher sees you coming to drop your child and the teacher just turns. Don't be that person. Be that person that when you drop your child, any teacher you see around, hi, how are you? Good morning. God bless you. Thank you for the work you are doing. Teachers know that when it has to do with this set of parents, they are good. Even if you don't give them cash, they appreciate that you appreciate them. But if you decide to be a tigress, you become Margaret Thatcher, and you become Hulk Hogan. Auntie, mommy. I'm calling mommies because that is hardly do this kind of thing. You are putting your children in danger. Every teacher will abandon your child. Your child will never understand anything. And that child will not have confidence to ask any question. Because by the time such a child stand up to ask question, the teacher will not answer. He says, sit down, please, any other question? If you are sincere, some of your children comes home and tell you such kind of a thing. Check yourself. That's because of the relationship you have with the teacher. Some of you don't even confront the teachers directly because the owners of the school, the principals, wouldn't allow you to do that. It's only a foolish head that will allow a parent to barge into his or her school to do any kind of nonsense with his staff. But some of you go and report to the principal of the school, the director of the school, depending whether it's a government school or a private school. That report gets to that teacher, and that teacher is being punished because of your nobody should touch my child. Can you stand the children of 3 women? We have children that are from broken homes. We have children that are orphans. We have children that are house girls and house boys. We have children that stay for days without eating, but they just have to come to school. all of those emotions mixed together, a teacher or teachers handle them. Try. The only good thing you can do is to have what? Good relationship. And number 5, okay, call on your teacher whom have impacted or influenced you positively back in the days, either through their social media handles or any other means. Now, this one is for you as a parent. You have gone through primary school, you have gone through secondary school, you have gone through tertiary institution, or maybe you stopped at primary school, maybe you stopped at secondary school. Try. Have you reached out to any of those teachers? Now it is this era of social media. Look for their names, look for their handles, look for their numbers, call them and appreciate them. Tell them what they have done in your life. Some of my students have reached out to me, most especially on the social media. Some that have my number, give to others that doesn't have. They have called me. And you know, each time I get this kind of compliment, I feel elated and I feel emotional. Sometimes tears just well up in my eyes. I'm like, wow, I didn't know. Some of them I go ahead to tell them, I never knew I did all of this, but I was just being myself. I never knew I helped to shape your life. But in return, I used to tell them, thank you for also appreciating me. Do that to the teachers that have taught you. Do that to the teachers that have taught or are teaching your children. And in that way, you will see that a lot of things will change. Needed to also add that teach your children to learn to respect their teachers. Teach your children that never would they come home and report a teacher for you to go and fight for them. Yes, I am not ruling out the fact that we do not have terrible teachers. We have terrible teachers. We do have terrible teachers, but we also have very good teachers. Appreciate the ones that are good, and those ones that are demons, talk about them. But don't make it look to your children as if those teachers are worthless. When your child have reported something, just tell the child, okay, I've heard you. I will go and find out why it is like that. In that good tone, even though you are angry. Because if you show it with that anger, you will say some certain things. Children are sensitive, they pick them, and you end up destroying them. So that has been me talking about my experience as a first-time teacher and the things you should take home from this video and start to do them. And it's hello, if you have gone through me, if I had taught you either in the school, in the Bible study, or anywhere, and I have done something good in your life, reach out to me too, and appreciate me. I also need to be appreciated. Okay, tag me, and God bless you.